Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amy, and today I'm gonna make for you my very low-calorie lasagna. It's recipes like these that helped me finally lose weight after 30 years of trying. At the age of 46, I finally got into the best shape of my life by following low-calorie recipes like this low-calorie lasagna. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get right into it and show you how I make it low in calorie, what substitutes I make, and how you can make it at your house too. These ingredients are really quite basic. So instead of lasagna noodles, the very, very low-cal version is some sliced zucchini that's gonna serve as our noodles. This alone saves you hundreds of calories per serving. So zucchini is essential. Also, I've got some fresh basil that I just bought at the grocery store. You can get this in the produce department in a pot, cheaper than you can buy it in the clamshell. So I got this only for $2.99. Even if it just lasted for one recipe, it's still a better option than the basil they sell in the clamshell. I also have fat-free cottage cheese. This saves us about 30 to 40 calories per half a cup. And so the fat-free cottage cheese works just as well as classic full-fat cottage cheese, in my opinion. Also some fat-free mozzarella. This saves about 45 calories per quarter cup. And although I do like the fat-free mozzarella and cheeses, the only place I've ever found it is at Walmart, and it's not always there. And the second reason that it's not the perfect ingredient is because it doesn't melt as well as classic mozzarella with some fat in it. So today I'm gonna blend a little bit of both just so I have a little more melty, cheesy consistency. Another thing, sometimes I'll use the 99% lean ground turkey. Today I'm using the 93%. The 99% I have used before and I do like it, but the 93% I like a little better. The 99% tends to get dry, so I'm gonna use the 93% today. And then the last ingredient is the spaghetti sauce. This one I got because a half a cup is 50 calories. Sometimes I'll get I believe it's the Classico brand. You have to check the labels though, because they're not all made the same, but there are some with 45 calories. So it's only about 5-calorie difference, and this one is much cheaper. And I actually like the Hunt's brand for spaghetti sauce. So I'm gonna use that. So now the first thing I need to do is cook up my ground turkey. Okay, once my pan is hot, I turn it down to medium, and then I'm only gonna use half of this 1 pound block of ground turkey because I'm only gonna use 8 ounces for an 8-inch pan that I'm gonna cook the lasagna in today. Normally I'll do a 9x13 pan because I'll cook for the whole family, and so that's when I would use a full pound of the ground turkey, but today it'll be only half of that, and I'll make it in the 8-ounce pan. Now I prefer ground turkey to ground beef because of the calories, and we're trying to do a low-calorie dish. I really feel like any extra calories you can save throughout the day without making it feel like you're eating less calories, the more successful you'll be in your weight loss journey. So for example, I can be just as happy or just as satisfied eating a 400-calorie slice of lasagna or eating a 200-calorie slice of lasagna because I've made a few substitutions. And then that leaves me 200 calories to eat other food with, which makes you more satisfied because you can be full on fewer calories because you get more food. That's what it's all about for me. Let's just eat more food. And if it's less calories, you'll lose weight. And then as soon as my meat is no longer pink, I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of the spaghetti sauce just to combine the two, slightly warm it up, which isn't too necessary, but I just like to get it all to kind of melt together there. And then once you have the meat and spaghetti sauce together, you can turn off the burner and we'll move on to making the cheese. Okay, all we need for our cheese layer is we need 1 cup of the fat-free cottage cheese. And guys, if you're making this in an 8x8 pan and you cut it into 9 squares, each serving is only 98 calories. Now that's a bargain. So have 4, have 4 pieces instead of one piece of full fat, full calorie lasagna. We have 1 cup of fat-free cottage cheese. We're gonna put 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, and like I mentioned at the beginning, I'm gonna do half fat-free and half classic. And I do have some Parmesan cheese, but I'm actually gonna save that to just sprinkle on top. And then to act as a binder, I use 1 egg. And that's it for our cheese layer. We only have 1 more step, and that is to slice our zucchini. Okay, in order to get your zucchini uniform in width and as thin as possible for zucchini low-calorie lasagna, you are gonna wanna use a mandolin to cut it. They are very dangerous if you have not used one in the past, which is why I like this contraption, because this is like a major protector from you slicing your hand when you move the zucchini across the blade. So the way that this works is you have some prongs here and you just stick it onto your vegetable so that you can have a good grip, and then all you're gonna do is slide it until you have some slices of your zucchini. And these are short. It's just easier for me to do it that way, but that's okay, because you can just layer them around and arrange them just like you would pasta noodles. So I'm gonna do a couple of these. Depending on the size of your zucchini, will depend on how many zucchinis you need. I'll slice 3 of them for today, and we'll see how far that gets us. If I have to slice more, I can. The thing about zucchini in Utah is it practically grows like a weed, and so most people that can't garden, like myself, will always just plant zucchini, and then you'll get a lot of zucchini just in like August and September, which I think is great because it's the only thing that ever works out for us. We've gotten a few good tomato plants, but zucchini's like a weed. You can't mess it up, and it produces a lot of zucchini. Luckily, I have plenty to make this all summer long. So this will be the last one, and then we'll start assembling our lasagna. Okay, I first like to spray my pan with a little cooking spray. And then my first layer is going to be my meat and spaghetti sauce. And it'll probably be about a full cup, almost a full cup of that. And then I'll just kind of slide it around so it covers the whole bottom. So we've got 1 cup of meat sauce on the bottom, and then I will follow that with a layer of zucchini. Okay, so we have 1 layer of that, and then I'll use half of my cheese mixture for the next layer. And then I'll kind of spread it around on top of the zucchini to cover it. Okay, that's 3 layers. Then I'm going to add another layer of the meat sauce. Spread it around again. A layer of pasta, fake pasta. And the zucchini doesn't have to be cooked ahead of time. It's raw. It'll get cooked with the lasagna in the oven. So another layer of noodles, another layer of cheese, the last of our meat sauce on top of the cheese. Make sure it just covers a little all the way to the edge. If you feel like you don't have enough meat sauce or not enough cheese, you can, just add a little spaghetti sauce from your can or jar, or add a little extra cottage cheese from your container of cottage cheese. And then last, we're gonna top it with just a sprinkling of mozzarella and Parmesan for the top. A little bit of mozzarella and no more than a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese for the very top, just so it stays close to 100 calories per serving. Okay, once you have sprinkled your cheese on top, I'm just gonna add a few leaves of fresh basil from the plant I bought, just for flavor and to make it real pretty, add a little color to it. So a little bit of basil, and then I'm gonna cover it with foil, and I'll bake it at 350 for about 40 minutes. I'm gonna take off the foil and let the top get a little bit crispy and bake it for 10 more minutes, and then we'll be ready to eat our low-calorie lasagna. So put it in the oven with me. And just under an hour, about 50 minutes later, our lasagna is ready. Now, if there's one thing I know about making lasagna for 30 years, is right when it comes out of the oven is not the time to dig into it. I let it sit for a good 20 minutes before I cut into it, because right now, if you try to scoop it out, it'll be pretty sloppy. But once it cools a little bit and the cheese kind of firms up a little bit and it all comes together, then you can slice it and have a clean piece of 100-calorie lasagna. I hope you guys like this. Please come back for more recipes. I love to make my favorite foods lower in calories so I can stick to my weight loss plan and maintain the weight I have already lost. So come back and I'll see you next time.